Hello everyone, my name is Dan Henschel. I'm an intimacy therapist here in Los Angeles, California, and this is 2 cucumbers that I have stabbed with chopsticks. And I'm so excited for you to find out why I have done this. But first, I want to talk a little bit about intimacy in general. As an intimacy therapist, I help you with down here by starting up here. They're connected, right? And so, the first thing that I always tell every patient, and I feel like Polly the parrot every single time I say it because I feel like I repeat myself over and over again, but that's because it's so true. Intimacy is not about feeling comfortable. Intimacy is about feeling uncomfortable and being okay with it. There's a difference there, and it's a very, very important difference. I think that a lot of the sex aversion that we see in our current culture, and really a lot of the aversion that we see in general, is because people are trying to live lives completely shielded from any discomfort at all. So the second they feel uncomfortable in any situation with anything, they stop and they pump the brakes, right? But if you do that, you will never, ever achieve anything worthwhile about the human experience. You just won't. That goes with anything. Art, friendship, activities, leaving the house. Some people can't even leave the damn house, right? But I'm not I'm not a general therapist. So let's keep it just towards intimacy for right now. Intimacy is a contract between 2 human beings in which you both agree to humiliate yourselves in front of each other in exchange for positive emotions and experiences, right? So, this brings me to my ex-wife's dog. My ex-wife had a dog, and he was fine, right? But this dog had a chew toy that I found very, very peculiar. One day, she brought out a silicone-looking object that was bouncy, and it had little holes in it, right? A big hole at the top. Anyway, I'm getting off track. The chew toy, she started filling with peanut butter, and she put it inside the hole like this. And I said, "What are you doing? You know, you're not going to put peanut butter on my hardwood floor, are you?" And she said, "No, this is a chew toy for the dog. It's fine." And I said, "Oh, really?" And she said, "Yeah, look at this." And she threw the chew toy on the floor, and the dog went wild. And I was sitting there on the sofa, mesmerized by this dog trying to get the peanut butter out of the chew toy through the small hole. And it was going to town. And I found this very, very compelling. I couldn't stop thinking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Until eventually, you know, I was doing intimacy therapy work with couples, and then it hit me. Why don't human beings have anything similar? Because we're both mammals, I think, right? I'm not I'm not an animal doctor, right? But we both have enough in common to feel camaraderie with each other. So surely, if they enjoy this activity so much, we probably would too. And then I said, yes, I am right. Because there are so many things that human beings do out of an attempt to have an oral fixation, right? And that's basically when you want something in your mouth. So that's things like cigarettes and vaping and, all sorts of those sorts of things. And then I thought, there is a perfect opportunity for me, because I was seeing a client who was telling me that every time they try to achieve intimacy with another person, they have a panic attack because they feel like they don't know what they're doing. And they feel like they are too scared to continue because they're worried they're doing a bad job. They're worried that the person is judging them and the things that they're doing with their hands and their tongue and, you know, all these humiliating, disgusting things that we do to each other. And so I said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take 2 cucumbers and I want you to stab them with chopsticks so that they are connected like this. And there's a small gap in the center. Okay? And then what I want you to do, oh, I see it here, never mind. Okay. Is get a hazelnut spread, because they're not paying us, right? So I'm not going to say what it is. But it's very good. Very good hazelnut spread. And you're going to open it like this. Sure wish I had a table, right? I've been making jokes all morning about how I don't have a table, and I wished that we had a table, and I said weeks ago that we should get a table. But we didn't get a table. So I just use my fingers, but you can use another object, I don't know. And then get some on your fingers. No cheating, right? Because I really want to get some of this in my mouth from my finger, but that's cheating. And then pick a side of the cucumber, and it has to be a horizontal side. Can't be this side or this side. It has to be a horizontal side. And you're going to put the Nutella in the gap between the cucumbers like this, okay? Like that. And you're going to want to make sure that there's enough to make it interesting. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute here. So I'm pretty generous with it, you know. Pretty generous with it. Sorry, it's difficult to do this and try to show the camera. Okay, so once you've got that there, do we have a napkin? Do I have a napkin? I hate having things on my fingers, but this is another good part. That's why I encourage people to use their fingers, because the whole idea behind this exercise is that you are making your muscle memory more comfortable with the sensations that you are going to be experiencing in intimacy with another person. So having weird crap on your fingers and what I'm about to show you here are both things that you can train your brain to be more comfortable with. So I told my client, once you have this like this, you can either turn it, that this one doesn't matter, you can either turn it like this or like this. And then, you're going to want to try to get, can they see that? Try to get the Nutella, oh shit! You're going to have to bleep that. Try to get the hazelnut spread from the center of the cucumbers. And I like to start them fairly far apart. This is about a 1/2 inch apart. But once you've had a little fun with that, then you can, that I like using the chopsticks, because then you can put them, you can make them more close together. Then it gets a little harder, right? Because then, but it's fun. And so I will just do this while I'm at work, on the computer or on a Zoom call. Of course, you're going to want to make sure you mute yourself before you do this on a Zoom call, because then people will just hear and they'll be like, what? So yeah, you can use this all day long. It's very fun. So that's one, right? The next one that I want to show you, it's a similar principle, but it's a little bit different. Sure wish I had a table. Okay. Here I have honey. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right? And honey, I love. You're going to want to open your honey and take an apple. This is an apple. if you've never seen one before. And then yet another chopstick. I love chopsticks, right? When I moved to LA, I started getting sushi all the time, and I was like, I love this, you know? A fork. No. Give me a chopstick, right? Okay, so it's sticky. This chopstick here is a little sticky because we did a take of this before, and it went totally off the rails, didn't we? But that's good. I'm glad we did it because we got a little practice. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I screamed. I'm sorry. We can cut that. Wow, I really Excalibur'd this guy here. So now I have a hole. Ideally, you don't want the hole to be through to the other side, but I messed up kind of. So then you can go Freddy and Jason with it, right? Stab, stab, until you've got a decently sized hole. So that's a pretty decent, oh sorry, we don't have rack focus. So that's a pretty decently sized hole there. Then you're going to want to take your Honey I Shrunk the Kids, right? And hold well, in this case, I'm going to have to hold the other side of the hole because I didn't mean to put a hole through the other side, but take your honey like this and put it very carefully so that it goes in the hole and down to the bottom, right? And then, here's the fun part. I'm going to do it sideways so you can see me do this, but you get the idea. Basically, you're trying to get the honey out from inside of the apple at the end of the apple hole. Did you guys ever do that primary school thing where you would hold your tongue? He knows what I'm talking about. Where you would hold your tongue and like this, and then you would they'd say apple and hold your tongue, and I'd say apple. I didn't do it. Apple. 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 That sounds like you're saying asshole. It's a lot funnier when you're 6 years old. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same principle as the cucumber, but with honey and an apple. I guess that's it. Yeah, I mean, but basically the idea is that you do that over and over again, and you can do it at work, whatever, until this is training the muscles in your tongue and your face and just your whole body to get more comfortable with the physical act of doing these things, so that then when you're in a situation with it where you need to be intimate with another human being, you've practiced and your brain is like, oh yeah, we're getting the honey out of the apple, aren't we? And it's close enough. You don't have to be like, no, we're not, brain, and yeah, a lot of my clients love it, and I think you're going to love it too. I love it, certainly. Okay, bye-bye. Good luck.